We know that to merge two objects in Blender, we select them both and then apply union boolean. But we don't leave them like this because it looks fake and there is no transition between the two mesh. So what we usually do is we go into the edge mode and select all the corner edges and then give it some bevel. So that way it has some nice blending effect between the two mesh, but here it seems a bit weird that because I don't apply the scales. So let me just do that, and then when I give it a bevel, there's a beautiful blending effect. But if you try this on a curved surface, that may not work because in curved surface there are continuous edges. So if you try to apply a bevel, that might breaks because there are many edges, so it doesn't give any space to run the bevel. But in this video, I have a solution for that. So the technique I'm going to share to you will run a bevel on any surface. And the best part is, it doesn't even affect your geometry. And by the way, if you haven't met, my name is Prashant and I'm a concept artist and also the creator of MatricX ecosystem. A few years ago, I was making some random sci-fi stuff, and recently I discovered that how to make a real concept design and also understand the fundamentals of the shape and the design language and the functionality, so everything. In this channel, I share the technique and the thinking I use in the production work. So today, I'm going to show you a simple method I use to create a smooth surface transition without relying on a traditional workflow. Let's get started. So the reason I'm sharing this tip is because recently I've seen a picture on Pinterest. It was a mechanical piece, so it has a beautiful transition between a cylinder and a cubical shape. I wonder about how can I create this in Blender. So that's where I found out this technique, and I hope many people might be struggling to create that. So before we see what is that secret, I would like to make a basic shape. So I'm going to add a cylinder, and it's okay if it's 32 vertices. I'm going to rotate this like this and scale this on the Y like this and give it a smooth, and then I'm going to add a cube, scale it small, lift it up and scale it on the x-axis like this. We don't really want to extend it too much. I just want a bottom portion to be get inside the cylinder, and also the top doesn't have to be like this much extended. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the scale down like this. We don't really want to put it inside like this, but just a little up like that. And then I'm going to apply a scale and select the side edges and give it a bevel. So if it's break like this, press C to clamp it, and now you can see that the two edges snapping in the same position, but that's wrong because when you go to the object mode and apply the smooth, you might see this line on the center. So what we usually do is we go into the edge mode and then press M and choose merge by distance. So that will remove the extra edges. And I'm going to mirror this on the other side using hot-ups. And I think we're pretty much done. So before I end this, I would like to give it some bevel using hot-ups. You can also use bevel modify if you want. Just give it a small amount like this, and also for the surface, just so it be more consistent and doesn't have the fake sharpness. Alright, so now you might think that I'm going to join this using union boolean, but I'm not going to do that. So the reason is, when you apply the union boolean, it will physically connect the object, and it might be end up as a pain after if you want to adjust the shape, and it isn't required for the technique we are going to use, because for us we just need to combine the both objects. So for that I'm going to use the join operation. So when I press Ctrl J, it doesn't physically join it, but it just like put them in a one container. So at any time you can go to the edge mode and select the shape you want, and then press Ctrl++ and then separate this into a new piece. And also the advantage of using the joining operation is that you can also apply the loop cuts because it isn't physically connected. So yeah, we join the object, and because of that we lose the mirror. So I'm going to do it again. Alright, this is perfect. And now you can see that the sides are still sharp. It doesn't have the blending effect between the two mesh. So the trick is use a bevel shader. Note that I'm not saying bevel modifier, I'm saying bevel shader. So let's see what is the difference. a bevel modifier which is physically at the bevel to the geometry. Even though it's non-destructive, when you apply the modifier, it will affect the geometry. But bevel shader works different. Bevel shader will give the bevel, by the way it's not giving the bevel, it gives the illusion of bevel. It means like it applying the bevel using the material. So yeah, that's let's put this way. A bevel shader gives you a bevel through material without affecting the geometry. Does that makes you clear? Anyway, so I'm going to open a new tab on the left and switch this to shading or shader editor. And now, if your object has material, just find the BST of shader and then we can work with it. But if you don't have any material, that's even better. You can click this button and this will add two shader. One is BST of shader and one is output. So now we need bevel shader. So for that, I'm going to press Shift A and search for bevel. And here it is. Just click on this and connect the normal into the normal socket. It doesn't make any change because we're still in the viewport. And by the way, I want to mention that this method only works for cycle engine. If you render using the EV engine, you might have to switch to cycle because this shader only works in cycle. But we all use cycle because that gives you a better quality and better shadow and better realistic output. So keep that in mind. And now when I go to the shading mode, I mean the rendering mode, you can able to see that nice bevel effect. Let me just give it a color. So let me make it a black so that we can see even better. And I think the value is too much. So we need some small tweak with the bevel shader. I want to set the samples to 8. Between 6 to 8 is a good value because the more you increase the sample, the better the quality will be. And for the radius, I would like to go with something 0.03. That's good for this model. And a good range for radius, which is between 0.2 between 0.8. More than that can create some artifact and it's not a good value. And by the way, keep in mind that this bevel shader doesn't replace the bevel modifier. It just creates the illusion. So if you want a larger bevel areas, then you must have to use like a mesh machine offset cut for do the operation. But in most cases, to join the both object and we don't want to create the fake sharp edges, we can use this bevel modifier. So that would instantly put that nice bevel around the corner. And even though the geometry doesn't support and even though the surface is too complex, this method works. That is the advantage. So this is the trick I use in all my render. So I don't really want to put things complex. I just join the two objects and then put some bevel and that's it. It's very simple and it makes the rendering workflow really fast and fun. So yeah, this is the small little trick I use in my concept art to get a better quality and to get that believable shape. And if you want to be a concept artist, I create a full playlist where I share on how to collect references from how to sketch your design and how to take that into a final design. So it's a full playlist, 30 minutes long each part. So that would really help you to coming up with your own concept art instead of just copy pasting other people's work. So if you want to be a concept artist, that is the playlist. It's a bit boring because it doesn't have any fun elements, but it has a full value. It's just my full experience where I go from sci-fi shit to a believable concept design. So check that playlist, link will be in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.